Hey everybody, what's up? My name's Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice.
And today we're going to tell you how and why, if you like Disney Villainous, you've got to try Disney Lorcana. Hear us out.
So if you've been watching this channel for a while, you probably have heard us talk a lot about Villainous, or you found this channel because you like Villainous. And guess what? So do we. We love Villainous. And recently, the same company has come out with a game called Lorcana, which is a card trading game, which traditionally board game players are like, card trading? I don't know about that. But we are here to tell you why, if you are a fan of Villainous, I think you're really going to enjoy Lorcana.
Not only that, we're going to actually be giving away a copy of Disney Lorcana Gateway, which we'll talk about in this video. So you may even have a chance to try it for free.
So if that sounds like something you might want to play, then just keep watching. So I'm going to start this video in the sense that I think that you probably already know what Villainous is, and you probably are like, what is Lorcana, or tell me more. So, or convince me. So if you aren't familiar with Lorcana, it is a trading card game. So if you've ever heard of Pokemon or Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh, all those things growing up, I never played those before. And so Lorcana was my first trading card game, but it works in the same sense that you have a deck that you can build and customize, and you're going to be battling against another player, and you can play multiplayer in Lorcana as well. There's ways that you can trade out those cards. There have been different decks since it's released, since last year. Every couple months they come out with a brand new deck that has different art and different mechanics, and it's kind of been building off of itself, like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, if you're familiar with those kind of games. But what is awesome about this is that they took those, like Magic the Gathering, and Disney-fied it in the best way possible. So there is this absolutely stunning art, and the theming for each card is absolutely beautiful. There's a mechanic where you can play a song, which you can have any of those characters play a song, and it's going to be, you're actually like those characters are singing that song, like battling it out. And so yeah, so how else would you describe Lorcana to people that aren't familiar with it?
Yeah, for sure. I think like you mentioned, you're going to be building these decks that are naturally going to be thematic because Flotsam and Jetsam play so well together and they have these synergies. You also have all the Madame Mim and Merlin cards that when they appear, it's going to pop the other one out. So like Merlin changes into a rabbit and then changes into whatever else. And like Madame Mim changes to a snake, to an elephant. And so you're going to have these like sort of transformative decks that just kind of like work and are super thematic because those things work well together. Mickey Mouse, the sorcerer, has all these magic brooms that he's going to use to slap people and then they go back into his hand. So yeah. I think it's like it naturally builds itself in a very thematic way because of the synergies that the cards have.
Very true. And I think why a Disney nerd, which a lot of people are playing Villainous, I think everyone is a huge Disney nerd, probably if you're really into Villainous. What this does in Lorcana, what I love, is that they play off of the traditional, what you think those characters are like. So it's really people got to like make up their own story. That's what it feels like this alternate universe of like these different characters, like what if Cinderella was a knight or something like that. And also there's ways to upgrade, maybe like Briar Rose, Sleeping Beauty, you can upgrade her to Princess Aurora, which she upgrades in those abilities and becomes stronger.
Yeah. Now talk about the actual gameplay. So first of all, you're going to buy these decks or these packs, so you can have these starter decks, which we love because they come sort of pre-made with a lot of the new cards. But you can also buy these individual booster packs, and when you open those up, they're going to have a bunch of random cards in them of various rarities, and you kind of just build your deck from there. So I will build a deck that works with what I have, and so I'll try to build the most thematic deck that I can. And then I'll go play with my deck, and Mackenzie, we play together, and we'll play like 2-player games against each other, and we have a great time. So it's basically each turn you're going to be playing cards based on this inkwell that you have that you're building up, where you're getting rid of some of your cards face down. So you're going to lose the opportunity to play those cards at the expense of now having more power to play other cards. So you have to kind of think, okay, what am I likely to see in my deck as I go? You'll have the ability to shuffle cards back into your deck. You'll have a little bit of manipulation over looking at the top cards of your deck and putting some on the bottom. So very similar sort of card play to a lot of the things that you were doing in Villainous. Now, the thing that's different about this is that these decks are not necessarily balanced. So you really have to make a deck that works for you, but it also has to have the same kind of skill power as your opponent's deck. And so for both playing starter decks or starter decks plus packs that we modified in, it's great. Now, if you go to a competition or a like thing at your local game store, you're gonna get stomped on, and that's okay because that is literally not the point. It is a game, and if you want to play it and just have fun, there are plenty of ways to do that.
Do you think that's why board gamers are initially hesitant with a trading card game because the balance aspect?
I think balance is a piece of it. It's like it's not so much of a solved puzzle. You're going to see hundreds of cards as opposed to like, okay, I know the 30 cards that are in this deck and I'll eventually see them all, right? You know, there's a bit of familiarity to it. It's also just like a very different thing to spend just as much time building your deck as you do playing. So it's like I'm going to spend a lot of time thinking about this thing that I didn't have to care about when I was just shuffling and getting started originally. So if you don't like that construction aspect, there are still ways to play. You play with the starter decks, but it certainly takes a little bit to get into that.
But I just love playing the game with my little pack I can create because I'm such a big Disney fan and getting to create all these fun things. If it's strong, I mean, I'll use my skill to make it as strong as I can, but I really like when I can make all my favorite characters be in the same deck or have like a completely like Snow White deck with all the seven dwarves.
Yeah.
I love that. And what I love too is that they are really diving deep into the IPs that are not used heavily by Disney. So like, I was immediately sold. If you guys know when they added in Atlantis, the Lost Empire, Atlantis, the Lost Empire, when they had all of those cards, I was like, well, nah, I have to buy everything.
And Milo.
Yeah,
And
I'm still wanting to find the Enchanted. Speaking of Enchanted, so if you want to know, if you just want to be a casual player, you don't really need to know this, but each card, if you're interested, is going to have a level of like how often comes up and how likely you are to get it in a pack. Enchanted is the highest. I think it's one in every...
like 4 boxes.
Yeah, so it is harder to get. So that's where some people will dive into that section and try and like get all the exclusive cards, and people try and make money off of it. I think you don't need to get into that whole section of the trading card space.
No.
I think you can get a couple of starter decks of characters that you think you would enjoy, and you can just play it with your friends and hand out those starter decks to other people and play it like a board game.
Oh, totally. Speaking
of board games.
I think we got to talk about Lorcana Gateway. So this was given to us by Ravensburger. They also gave us a second copy to be able to give away. But what this essentially is a board gamified Disney Villainous. It's like they took the...
Disney Lorcana.
Disney Lorcana. So yeah, for Villainous people, for sure. So what they did is, first of all, we literally get a cardboard board, like a 4-fold board that we put out on the table. It gives us cardboard tokens, which was like such a jarring thing when we opened our starter decks and they had paper tokens in them. So it gives you that more familiar, like, okay, I've got cardboard damage tokens, I've got punch outs, I've got a starter deck that progresses. So they give you a guidebook where like you have to sing 3 songs before you can move on to the next phase, and then it introduces items, and then it introduces the shift and Floodborne characters. So it slowly teaches you how to build a deck and like literally teaches you everything you would need to know about how to like play and build Lorcana. So this is an excellent way to get started. I really enjoyed this setup, and I think this is a great way to get into the game. So highly recommend Disney Lorcana Gateway. This is totally the way to get started, like you were saying. But yeah, I think this is a great way to learn how to play.
Yeah, I think this is also good for those younger players that may need some help ramping up to that card play, because it really does take you step by step in knowing how to play a trading card game. That's kind of our thoughts on why, if you love Villainous, you should at least try Lorcana. And I'm saying this not because I do get to do a lot of videos with the people that do Ravensburger. I genuinely really, really enjoy Lorcana, not even as, I don't do it in the competitive space, like I said. I just like to get the packs and play against Jonathan or get my, it isn't just a 2-player. I also really enjoy it at 3 and 4.
I think what we would love to have happen is people comment on this video and say, you know what, I gave it a try, I had a lot of fun, and I'm gonna keep playing. That would be awesome. But even if you just try it, just to try it, I think it's worthwhile. So we are doing a giveaway now. So if you would like to win this wonderful copy of Disney Lorcana, the trading card game Gateway, then comment in the comments why you're excited about trying Lorcana. So if you tell us the reason that you're excited to try it, we will select one winner from there within the United States. So we can only ship this in the US just because of prohibitive shipping costs and tournaments and stuff. But if you are interested in this and you're in the US, please comment below and we will gladly send this to one recipient 1 week from today.
And thank you guys so much for watching. It was really fun just talking through this, and if anyone wants to talk about Lorcana and just talk about the fun fandom of the cards, I will love to talk to you about in the comment section because I will always Disney nerd out with you. I'm all for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know whenever we put out a new video. And we'll see you next time. Happy playing!